We're getting ready to make a nice, rich, dark brown gravy. It's quick and it's easy and you don't need a lot of stuff. I am actually have some celery, green pepper, and onion here, and I'm going to grab some garlic. I'm not chopping this up fine because I fish mine out in the end or I strain it. So I don't want it to be very small at all. Because then I'll have trouble fishing it out. I need a stick of butter and you'll need some flour. Other than that, it's all about the time that it's going to take. That's it. You can't rush it. You can't rush it. You'll have to let it brown on its own, because if you turn your heat up high when you're trying to rush it, all you're going to do is burn it. Okay? So I am going to grab some garlic and I will see you at the stove. So you're going to need some fat, some oil, vegetable oil. I wouldn't suggest olive oil, but bacon grease, duck fat, beef tallow. I am using butter simply because I like that flavor. So I have a stick of butter in here and we are going to let it get melted. Okay, our butter has melted. We're going to go in with our flour. And you want to go in a little bit at a time and get it combined and stirred in really, really well. Now you'll find that a lot of people will start off with their vegetables first and they'll start cooking those, then they'll add flour, they'll put them in now and they'll mix it all together. I don't do mine like that because I'm fishing it out. All my vegetables, my garlic, my onion, my bell pepper, my celery, everything, all of that is in here for flavor, okay? I'm not putting it in here. I want nice, smooth brown gravy. When you go to a restaurant and you have something that has gravy in it, it doesn't have a lot of bits of pieces of onion and celery. It's smooth. It has good flavor, but it's nice and smooth, okay? So I have this on medium, and we're going to continue to stir this and cook this until it turns a nice brown that we want, okay? Some of that butter is going to soak up some of that flour, and that's when you have to really be careful because it'll brown fast, and you don't want it to brown too fast, okay? Last little bit of that flour in there. So you just keep stirring and keep stirring. We've reached the next level in color. And this is our roux, okay? There's more than one way to make a roux. And this is the way I make my roux. We just keep stirring because we don't want it to burn on the bottom. We also have enough flour in here that we need to keep cooking it so that it can get that flour taste out. The flour actually needs to be cooked, okay? So we just keep stirring and it's going to continue to keep turning brown. This is the time that I spoke about, that we need to just keep waiting and be patient. You can do this with a whisk, but I've just found that the back of the spoon, I'm using the back of the spoon to stir this with like that. The back of the spoon works best. I can get larger, flatter surface area with it. Just keep stirring. As you can see, it's starting to darken up. We got to stir it until we want it the color we want it, okay? And if you want your gravy this color, then you would stop and go to the next process at this time, which I'll show you that when I get to the color I want it to be. But for now, we're going to keep stirring. Also, you want to keep in mind that while we continue to stir and it's getting darker, when you think it's the color you want it to be, you need to let it go a little bit further and get a little bit darker, because as soon as you pour the liquid in here, it's going to lighten up, okay? So if you want brown gravy, you can't stop. Like right now, I need it to get a little bit darker so that it can come out being the color I want it to be. Okay, you see how nice and dark this has gotten and rich? That's what we want, okay? Now we're going to pour in our chicken broth. Now, I'm going to tell you, be careful when you pour that chicken broth in because you're going to get some steam. You're going to get a lot of steam. Watch your hands, watch your face. Pour it in away from you. Pour it in slowly. It's going to create steam. If you are concerned about it, please put an oven mitt on your hand that you are pouring it in with and keep your other hand away from the skillet, okay? Also, too, make sure it is the color you want it to be, because once you add the chicken broth to it, it's not going to get any darker. Any more darkness, you would have to add something to it like brown gravy, kitchen bouquet, or something like that. So here we go. And stir. Stir so it won't lump up. As soon as you pour it in there, you have to stir. Now, if you notice, as I was pouring it in there, I started close to the skillet and then I raised my hand up in the air. If you got to replay that, replay that. The reason being is because I was moving away from the steam so the steam would not burn my hand. So as soon as the steam came up, I continued to pour, but I raised my hand up. I didn't leave it low so that the steam could get to it. Okay? So now you have to stir, 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 so that it won't lump up and be real lumpy. Okay? Keep stirring. You know, I have a friend that always says it takes patience to be in the garden. She's right. It also takes patience to be in the kitchen. Some things you just can't rush. Okay, now I still have a little bit left. You want to keep a little bit of your liquid, and you can always do it with water, but you know, just in case it thickens up too much for you at this point and you want to add something else in it. I'm going to turn my I'm going to turn my stove down. And now we're going to add in our onion, celery, green pepper, and garlic. Slowly put it in. Don't just drop it in. This is hot, very hot. So go ahead and add it in. Now you're just going to let this veggies cook and release their flavors, their oils into the gravy, okay? So that you can have nice brown gravy, and then we can fish it out. You can strain it, you can scoop it out, or you can just get your gravy from around it. However you want to do it, okay? So from now, I'm going to turn it down, and we're just going to let this simmer, let it thicken up some until these veggies are nice and softened and wilted, and all of their flavors have released into the gravy. At this point, I'm going in with black pepper, lots of black pepper. Remember, black pepper adds flavor and salt enhances flavor. Stir that in to combine. Make sure you go in and taste it to make sure it has enough seasoning in it for you. If you want to add some garlic powder, onion powder, anything of that nature, now is the time to do it. Okay, see how nice and rich and nice dark brown gravy. See how rich that is? Look at that. Look at that. Now I'm going to do one more step and I'm going to strain it on through. Okay, we are all done. Oh my goodness. Look at how nice, rich, and thick this is. Look at that. This looks amazing. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. This is a real easy, quick, and simple recipe. It does take time. You need to stir it, but it's well worth it in the end. Okay, so if you are not subscribed, take a second to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Delicious. Bye-bye.